Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one is located on the south spawn of Ruinberg and it's under the command of Stalker27. Now he's got a 8-inch howitzer there to play with. It's the 203mm 8-inch gun, 1050 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armour with a burst radius of 11 meters. It looks like he's actually going to go out to the far east side of the map and fire from over there, or is he going to stop near these bushes and shoot from here? It looks like he's staying in a conventional position, but no, he's elected he's going to follow the FB207 and sit in this corner. Now that will restrict his field of fire because those buildings actually block certain angles, and I think he's suddenly discovered that because he's had to move forward just to shoot at this Barrask. Now he's scrolling out his aim. You can do it a lot easier if you actually just... Oh, he just killed the Barrask with one shot! And it was a blind kill as well. He worked out where the Barrask was headed, and that must have been a penetrating shot on the Barrask. But it wiped him out altogether. You know, I was saying he was scrolling out his aim because he was actually moving it out using his mouse slowly but surely. You can hold down your control key and right click on the minimap where you want to look at, and it will take the view there straight away. It's a lot quicker and easier. And he's got another direct hit on the enemy. Now there was an Object 263 and I think it was an E75 in that area. My god, so he's doing quite well to start with. One kill already, the only kill on his team so far. It appears that only the Lurver, and the Lurver's in a bit of a precarious position there because he's shooting up the main street towards the village, and that IS-3A is coming around the corner to take shots at him, and Stalker manages to get around into the to track the IS-3A. 240 hit points of damage there. There's E75. Now, who took the shell? It looks like it was the 263 that took the shell, but although the E75 is missing some hit points as well. Now, the reload time is about 34-35 seconds. He's lining his shot up. Rounds out. He's actually a 33-second reload. And he got 337 hit points of damage from that shot. A Kanonen Jagdpanzer taking a shot in that corner, pulled back rather smartish, but we don't appear to have a tank destroyer in the position where he can oppose that Kanonen and stop him from poking around that corner. There are certain key positions you need to man in a battle on Ruinberg. Oh, that one went long. Exploded behind the IS-3. One of those key positions is actually to have an enemy tank, or rather a tank destroyer or sniper, somewhere looking through the arches in grid square J1, looking towards any tank destroyers that come around the corner in E1 so that you can shoot at them. Another one is to have somebody in the corner at G1 looking across towards the enemy tanks that come from a different angle. It appears that only the Jagdpanther went to E1, or F1 rather, no, G1 rather, and now they are around the corner, and that's a twofer there because he actually hit two tanks at once, the E75 and the Mutant, the M6A2E1. Got a decent amount of hit points off both of them as well. 364 on the Mutant, 431 on the E75. And they're forming a line here. This is where I load up the premium ammo to really have a go at the enemy. He's almost loaded, and he's going for 3 enemy tanks at the same time. Here we go. Rounds out. Oh, good shot! He killed the E75 and damaged the IS-3A and the Mutant as well. So he's got his second kill now. It's difficult for him to get shots on that T10 at the moment, but he can definitely hit that 263 Stalin's Sandal a little further back. He's loaded. Rounds out. Oh, hits the wreck, but still splashes the T10 for 204 hit points. I think it was the 263 that he actually hit earlier, because the 263 is showing a hit by HE. There's a little hole in his armor at the front. I can make it out. Yes, it's on the right side of the viewports for the crew. Direct hit there, 228. Nice. Unfortunately, we're now down by 3 tanks, I'm afraid. Yes, because we didn't have adequate cover in the centre, the enemy was able to push around that corner, and our guys are playing very defensively now. We're also lost tanks in the village, although we've managed to claw back a few since, and well, that's good news. He fires a round in on the 263, splashes him for 345, and there goes the 263, so that's a good kill. It's a tier 9 game with tier 8 tanks in it. He's now going for the Pershing, who's up in the village. He's just killed our last tank in the village. The Kanonan's hiding behind that wall. They've killed all the other tanks there, and the scores are now even. But the enemy does have the advantage of the field, and they've got two medium tanks and 2 tank destroyers. Oh, no, 1 tank destroyer now. They've lost the Kanonan. There's the T-54. Oh, he's gone. So we're now 1 tank ahead of the enemy, and we've got 3 heavy tanks. They've only got a medium, a tank destroyer, and 2 Arty. We just don't know where that Pershing's gone. He might be headed down to the south of the map, and if he finds the FV207, the next target will probably be to try and find and kill Stalker. The tank destroyer is a Striv S1. Oh, the Pershing's coming straight towards us, actually. Although I think he might have seen the FV. Yes, he definitely seen the FV now, because he's just seen the FV fire at him. And unfortunately, because he chose to stay near these buildings, he's got no shot. He's got a red line. And there's nothing he can do to help the FV207. And because he was spotted, the enemy Arty's fired at him as well. I think he's going to try and shotgun that Pershing. He is loaded. Here's the Pershing. Lines it up. Letting it dial in. Oh, right up his rear. Right up his jacksie. I don't think he liked that. But the enemy Arty will be dialing in on him, so he's actually hiding behind this wall. He's more than likely going to get splashed by one of the enemy Arty. And the FV207 was spotted and taken out by the enemy FV. I'm expecting the enemy M53 to 55 to try and kill him. But he didn't shoot. Now he's gone into the battle assistant aim whilst he's on the move, and he's now looking for the enemy Arty. I think they're up there, and that's where I would go actually if I was trying to help the Striv defend the cap area. Now we lost one of our enemy heavies, one of our heavies during the attempt to take the cap. I think that was down to the Striv. He's got no shot there because the building's in the way. He's got a red line. The 705 is going into the right hand corner, the east corner of the map, presumably to move up gradually and spot the enemy Arty. I wouldn't have gone into this corner because we know that the enemy that the enemy came south across the field to try and find the FP207. The Striv, as last time we saw him, was actually defending their cap area, and I don't think he will leave that cap. He needs to maintain a position nearby, and Stalker's decided to take up position in the southeast corner himself, but it is the most obvious place to go. Well, our Object 705's making his way towards the enemy. He's found one of them. Wow. And he's put a round into the guy. And Stalker takes him out. But he will have given away his position now, so he is moving to find a new spot. All he needs to do is move a few 100 meters up. Oh, knocked over that lamppost, but pretty sure the FP207 wasn't watching that. The problem is the Striv, really, more than anything. The 705's a one-shot. And the M53, well, the FP207 has 2 kills already, so he's probably knows what he's doing. I've got 8 rounds left, but that's more than enough for what he needs. There's only 2 enemies. He's looking ahead of where the 705 is moving, and normally what you do is you look further ahead than the view range of the 705, because he's going to see them at his maximum view range distance, unless they're hiding in a bush where he'll proxy spot them or spot them when they get close. So the idea is to look ahead of where your teammates are looking at the appropriate distance, and I sort of like do that as a matter of course, hoping that they'll spot somebody suddenly and I'll be looking in the right direction at that precise moment to fire a shell. I'd look over on the far east side on the 0 line at the moment, because that's where the 705's first going to spot them. But Stalker's now looking for the Striv, and we've lost the 705 to the FP207. He managed to get a direct shot into him, and he's saying that he's in that corner. And there's a blind kill. He was right, that's exactly where he was, and the IS-3 is going up to take the kill on the Striv. Oh my gum, he's just got killed by the Striv. Which means the Striv was probably in the neighbourhood of that FP207, because he wasn't close enough to proxy spot him, which means he's probably in those bushes next to where the FP207 was located. So it's all now down to Stalker and his M53, M55. If he can kill the Striv, he gets a top gun and wins the game. If the Striv kills him, then I'm afraid it's all over. Game over. 5 kills to the Striv. I wouldn't want to poke out of the bush at the moment. I want the Striv to get close to me before I let him have it, just like the FP207 did. I'm afraid this is staying a bit out in the open. And the Striv S1 can finish him off with one shot. There's the 2-minute mark. What I normally do is I try and have enough view range between me and the enemy with clean bushes in the, out, so it's a longer distance away as possible. And the Striv has managed to drive all the way across the battlefield, get to our cap area without being spotted. I'm afraid tier 9 RTs don't have a very good view range. If I remember my books correctly, it's something like around about 320 meters. So yeah, the Striv S1 could have sneaked straight past him and he wouldn't have spotted them. And now he's got to go and get a reset to save the battle. He could fire a few rounds in the blind shots, but well, he's might get spotted. If his sixth sense goes off, the Striv knows he's on the way. And that's the last minute being hooted out. And, well, he's got to go for a shot because the enemy can cap out. And saw him and took him out the game. I suspect that actually the front of his vehicle was poking through the bush. And the Striv said, "Oh, thank you very much. I'll have that." But he had to spot that Striv, and the Striv was probably hiding in the bushes himself. and that was the end of the game, sadly. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for Stalker 2-7 in the M53, M55. He managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 15. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5, which is 1/3 of the enemy team and 1 tank short of a Top Gun. Got a Gore medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he also managed to get a counter battery fire medal because he took out both of the enemy Arty in this battle. He took out the M53, M55, and he took out the FV207 as well. But I'm afraid it was the loss. But of course, we will remember that first shot he fired at the Batchat Barask, where it was a blind shot, which took him out, and he estimated where he was going and put a round on that spot, and he was absolutely correct and penetrated the guy and took him out of the game. At least I think it was a penetration. Pretty sure it was. It was only 357 hit points that he managed to get, so the Barask had already taken some damage, but it was an absolutely brilliant shot. So let's have a look at team score. According to this, he did get the highest damage in the game, 4,402 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer was the Striv with 3,883, and after that the T10 with 3,234. When it came to kills, he shared the top spot with the Striv S1. They both had 5 kills each. 4 kills went to the T54, and then 3 kills went to the FV207 and the Object 705 on his own team. When it came to base XP, it was the Striv who did the best with 1,150. He was the only player to get over 1,000 base. 991 went to the T54 and 892 went to the Type 59. And we can see that Stalker managed to get 702 base, which is still very, very good. And that was enough for an ace tanker on this game. He fired 13 rounds, got 7 direct hits, 1 penetration, 18 splash. Damage of 4,402 hit points, of which 4,003 were at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit, it was a penetration, it was from the Striv, and it finished him off. He also received 1 hit by way of splash damage. That was from the M53, M55, who fired at him during the battle but didn't get a direct hit and wipe him out. It was a near miss. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 killed, and 491 hit points of damage assistance, plus 906 hit points of stun assist of 14 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 34,923 credits, got 3,725 for the Achievements Award, that's for getting an Epic or a Battle Hero medal in a losing or drawn game, and his total 57,972 credits. But after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he made a small loss of only 63 credits. I don't think you'll worry about that at all. 702 XP, 396 for the Achievements Award, took away 1,647 experience points altogether. I think if I would have given my advice and said what he did wrong was right at the end, he actually moved forward towards the village, didn't leave a big enough gap between him and the enemy so they could see the enemy coming if the enemy was going to come that route. As we now know, the Striv actually did cut straight across the fields towards the cap, knowing full well he could hide in one of the bushes in the cap and then hope that the Stalker came along with his M53, M55 for a shotgun and then take him out from a hidden position. It might have been better for Stalker to take a few blind shots into the cap and try and get a reset by firing at the bushes, because it's the most obvious place that a Striv is going to hide is in one of the bushes. And there are a few bushes in the cap area, but he only needs to be lucky once to get a reset, and given the short amount of time left on the cap, the Striv would have been out of time to get a cap out, and he would have had to come and hunt down Stalker, which would have given the advantage to Stalker, because he then would have been able to wait for the Striv in cover and then ambush him the moment he turned up. So a missed opportunity there for a draw and potentially for a win if he'd been able to take out the Striv on approach. But anyway, it was an ace tanker, that's the good side of it. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel please, and thanks for watching.